We know when we're not in that place where He is because there's an absence of love. There's judgment and frustration and anger when we're not in the place where God is. And so I began talking about what we're going to go in greater depths on later is this term cathexing. This term cathexing is pursuit of that which you don't obtain. It's a hunger for that which you don't yet obtain. The pursuit of that hunger is called cathexing. The nature of all living organisms is to pursue balance of internal pressure. And so that's called the comfort zone, that term called balance of internal pressure. All living organisms pursue that which will bring it peace. And if it's hunger, when they eat, it brings them peace and balance of their hunger. Or sexual, and what drives them to mate is that unrest. That now, once that is satisfied in their mating, they return to balance of internal pressure. And so the pursuit of all animal nature, all living organisms, is to pursue balance of internal pressure, this place of rest. And we're going to come to learn that there are two forms of this cathexing. One is called lust. Lust. And so this unrest, this burning passion for something that doesn't belong to you, that God hasn't ordained for you, is called lust. And lust is a weaker form of cathexing, lust. For those who have been in the world, you found that when you were with the person that you were not supposed to be with, and the real person came along, you ran. Not because of their size but because you knew you didn't belong there. There was no power to stand and fight. It's been said that mothers with their children, they will fight to the death. It could be an animal with great strength, bears and other creatures, if their children are in danger because of this other form of cathexing called love. Love. And as we begin this weekend, we've been hearing, and the world wants to define this type of cathexing, this journey that I want to put us on this weekend, this journey of pursuit. I want to make sure we're clear that it's not about your wants. It's not your cathexing. It's not the lust. It's not what your eye and your flesh desires because someone has it. Look for. Why are there wars among us? But it's going to be out of this love that Jesus begins to talk about this new dispensation that He's going to place within us. This new dispensation, no longer by the pillar of fire by night and the cloud by day, that will guide us into this journey of categorical truth of where I'm supposed to be. I know I'm supposed to be here. I know this inner knowing. This categorical knowing. It's not because of how you look. It's not because of how pretty and how handsome and what you drive. And it's because I know I've been assigned to this. I know that God has called me to this purpose, this place. It's not because of how much it pays, how much reward I will receive. I had a team here last night working late at night for you all, and I would call and they would still be here preparing, and I would say, you guys go home, get your rest. And they said, no, we've got to prepare for this weekend. And they were saying, Coach, we love it. We love serving the Lord. Long beyond the hours that the average man would work a job. You would have long gone based on an 8 to 5, this occupation. It was a vocation. It was a calling of God. We occupy to vocate. We occupy to find that love that we can do. And that's why in Genesis that God commanded man to rest from his work. He commanded them that you must rest from your work. You work only 6 days, but you must rest on the Sabbath, because the nature of man is to work, to stay connected to those things that they love, to stay involved in holding on to things that they love. And so I want to be clear, few of us have found that place of love, and that's this first core value. Today I begin a new life by replacing my bad habits. The bad habits have been cathexing for those things that you didn't belong to, and you've been living a life cathexed with those things that are habits. You've done it so long, you think you belong to it now. You think you have to continue doing it. You don't know how to let go of it because it has become repetition, easy pleasure often, until it has become a habit you can't release. But God is saying, I'm not in it. My love is not in it, and you know where God is by his love. I want y'all to hear me now. This weekend is going to be about seeking that love. What do you love? What are you in love with? Some of you don't even know what you're in love with. You have cathexed through lust so many things in your life for so long, you don't even know what love looks like or feels like. I knew, as I tell this story often about with my wife in Cancun, Hattie, and we were first together. I first came to know I really loved her by the fact that she was out in the midst of the ocean and she was screaming in high-stepping, "Shark, shark," with her little girly girl self. No one was concerned with her cry for shark, but I knew the sound of fear and terror in my friend, my wife. And without thinking, I got up from my cot, started running toward the ocean. She hollered, "Shark." I'm figuring how to stick my fist in its mouth and put my elbow in its jaw, and when he bites down, I'm going to poke him in the eye. And I had all of these battles without conscious thought for me. I was ready to give my life for her. Without even conscious thinking, I was ready to die for her. And I knew then that I loved her. And so we hear this story of how God so loved the world that he gave, even to the point that he could tell Peter, "Get thee behind me, Satan," when called off from his love assignment, his cathexed assignment. My question to you is, have you found love yet in your occupation? Have you found a job that you're willing to give more than what's required of you? I give him my 8 hours or 7 hours and 40 minutes. Are you willing to give more than required of you? Do you hunger and thirst to be there, to be with them? I love being with my friend. Do you love being with each other? Your mates, your friends, what you have joined yourself to. Have you found that love yet? Are you where you're supposed to be? And you've called here this weekend to start this new year right. It may not be them that you have to leave. It may not be physical places that you might have to change. It could be psychological changes that you must make within you. That I've been careless with my love. I've been careless because I have not truly loved those things that I desire. And God is waking you up to do better, to go higher, to give more, to achieve more, to win more. For a definition of love, I would have for us to consider this definition: contending for another's highest good in every situation until it becomes a manifestation. I'll repeat. I would have you consider this definition of this kingdom cathexing that we are pursuing as we go forward here, contending for another's highest good. It could be your children. Are you contending for their highest good, or are you just getting them out of your hair? I don't want you not to like me, so I'll let you do as you will, so you'll like me, but I know it is not for your best interest, your best good. I'll let you eat what you want. I'll let you go where you want, with whom you want. But yet you're my responsibility, but I won't stand and fight for you because I need you to love me. That's called cathexing of lust. I desire something outside in. I need from you. I need you to love me. But this cathexing is not, it's even though you don't like me, I'm contending for your highest good in every situation until it becomes a manifestation. And even though we pray and God doesn't answer our prayers, we're angry with him because we expect, just because we asked him, if you love me, God, you'll answer my prayer. And sometimes God is saying, because I love you, my answer is no. I'm contending for your highest good, not that momentary need or want. But I'm looking down the pike. I know what you need. I know the end of the moment. He's contending for your highest good until it becomes a manifestation. And with that definition, I want us to consider the things that we have put our hands to and our time to. I gave you numbers on the board today that your heart beats 36 million times a year, pumping over 600,000 gallons of blood, over 60,000 miles of vein and arteries. That every day he's giving you life to contend. Every moment your heart is beating, every moment you're selling the value of your life for something. Is it for God? Is it for the things that of love, or is it for things of lust? You can never retrieve it. Contend for another's highest good, not your own, for another's highest good in every situation until it becomes a manifestation.